Hi, my name is Valerie Anderson. This is my presentation for case study 1 about Fox News. So just a little background information about Fox News. Fox News began October 7th, 1996 by Rupert Murdoch. Fox really likes to focus on their big personalities, so their big anchors, people that do their business segments, their opinion segments, their daily broadcasts. They like to focus on those well-known people that their audience relies on, that their audience is loyal to. That's one of their main tactics. They have an awesome website. They have a lot of videos and audio clips. They have a lot of articles, interviews, basically anything you want to know that Fox has done, they have it on their website. And then they also provide a bunch of links and different things that you can go to further your research of any topic you're interested in. So Fox has always, since the research that I've done since 2004, has been the #1 leading news broadcast system ahead of all others. During the Iraq War, during the invasion and during occupation of Iraq, Fox News grew 300% in viewership and ratings. They became the largest news source for the Republican National Convention. Just like kind of going on a little bit about the case study, Fox News has been reported as being seen as conservative a little more than any other news station that has ever been in question about it. So it's just interesting that they had the largest viewership of the Republican National Convention. And then in 2009, Fox had their highest ratings ever, which I'll talk to you a little bit more in just a little bit. So just a little bit going on their conservative bias. They've been accused of altering their news. They've been accused of making news content, getting facts, getting information, doing research, and then kind of altering it in a way and presenting it in a way that really focuses on the conservative views and important conservative attitudes and beliefs. Okay, so the Pew Research Center has done some research about Fox News. They've taken some data polls. They've taken just a bunch of different things to further their research on Fox. They found that 72% of Fox viewers were identified as Republicans. That's a lot. And Fox News also, only 45% of their viewers rated them better were Democrat. So 72% Republicans and then 45% Democrat. It's just a large difference in the viewership. The numbers are very significantly different. And then it's really kind of strange because, as I mentioned before, how Fox is the highest rated news station, but they are also the highest rated unfavorable news station. So just a little food for thought. So there were a lot of incidents with Fox News and their conservative bias before. There was a lot of really heavy media coverage. So just in a minute, I'm going to talk to you about Howard Kurtz and Anita Dunn, and they talked a little bit about how Fox News seemed to be a little more conservatively biased. And then after that, I'm going to talk to you about President Obama's acceptance speech of the Nobel Peace Prize. It shows a little bit just how Fox News covered that compared to other news stations. So now I'm going to talk to you a little about Terry McDermott and Anita Dunn. Like I was talking about before, Anita Dunn spoke on Howard Kuhn's CNN program and commented about how Fox was using right-wing tactics and right-wing talking points to, just as the baseline of their shows and their segments. She got a lot of comeback to her. She had fingers pointed at her. She was told by political professionals that she was being unprofessional, had bad form. Fox And then after they pointed their fingers and blamed her, Fox came back and tried to justify kind of like their actions into her actions. So they said that, like, there wasn't any specification between factual information and their opinion side. They wanted to be clear that there was a difference. They never really explained the specifics. They just kind of justified their beliefs, which we all know StratCom is not good to do. So after that, after his Anita Dunn's interview with Howard Coons, Terry McDermott found this. Thought it was interesting. He wanted to do a little further research into Fox and their conservative bias. He tried to get some interviews with Fox anchors, Fox employees. He was not able to get an interview. The Fox news station requested that he interview someone of lesser known. They didn't want him to interview the top well-known big personality anchors that they so well praise themselves. They didn't want him interviewing them. And then whenever he did do the interview, Fox wanted to make sure that he mentioned that, this is one of our lesser known news anchors. He's not on the air for these reasons. He doesn't think the same things as, these big personality anchors that really relate with Fox. They wanted to make that clear, and Mr. McDermott just didn't really agree with that. He found that he didn't really want to do the interview with Fox, and that he would just kind of do his own research and data with some colleagues. They decided to watch Obama's Nobel Peace Prize speech all together. Some people watched on Fox, some people watched on CNN, and some watched NBC. And at the end of their data, they gathered that other news outlets, such as MSNBC and CNN, had very diverse discussions. They, talked about specific points that Obama had made, whether it was conservative, whether it was moderate, whether it was, liberal. They talked about all the aspects and how all different kinds of their audience would view them and how they felt about them and thought about them. They found that Fox, not only did Fox not give President Obama airtime at all on their station, but they didn't really give much commentary on it either. They pulled quotes directly from a speech, just kind of like regurgitated them onto the air, as well as quotes from other news outlets like CNN, like MSNBC, who did have a lot of commentary about the speech for their audience. They just took their quotes and then just regurgitated them onto their news network. Okay, so here's the 5 just little quick facts about Fox News. During the last presidential election, Barack Obama not only, he actually received coverage that time, but he received only 6% positive coverage. And whenever we looked at CNN and MSNBC, they had a greater number of positive coverage over Barack Obama. So Fox started with 6% positive coverage of President Obama, CNN had 18%, and MSNBC had 39%. So CNN doubled it, and MSNBC just shot it out of the water. They had a very much higher percentage of positive coverage than Fox did, for sure. Fox's viewing audience differs greatly. They see themselves, 60% of Fox's viewers consider themselves conservative, while only 23% identify as moderate and 10% liberal. This compares to CNN and MSNBC in a drastic way, with such large numbers differentiating between 60% conservative with Fox to 23% moderate and only 10% liberal. CNN had about 30, 31, 30 all across the board for conservative, moderate, liberal. And as well as MSNBC, their numbers were all pretty equal, showing their diverse audience, while Fox, you can tell by the numbers that their audience is not as diverse. Also, Fox costs significantly more than any other news station on cable network. It's about 89 cents. So it's pretty expensive for each person, to be paying each segment every time. And then also, like we were talking before, Fox is the number one rated higher than CNN and MSNBC. Like I said before, with our research starting in 2004, more than 500,000 viewership, rating higher. Fox had 500,000 viewership, rating higher than CNN or MSNBC. In 2009, Fox rose to the highest rating that they've ever had, like I mentioned before, with almost 2 million, almost double of that of CNN or MSNBC alone. And then in 2013, when the last data was collected, they were still ranking higher by at least 1 million compared to their competitors. Also, Fox News is expensive because they use their outlets to further their viewership. They want to keep their viewers loyal. They want to keep more people coming in. They want to be able to create kind of a diverse news for their audience. They want to make it a little better than the others. They want to keep competing with their competitors. So they do, they cost a little more, but they do use that money in a good way. So while there are bad things about Fox News and there are some allegations against them, there are also some good things that they do. So some of the questions from the case study. Does the internet gather the public together, not as spectators, followers, or atomized egos, but as demos capable of self-articulation? Here's my response. I think that at first we all want to believe that the internet is there to bring everyone together, to share pictures, to share family, social media, YouTube, blogs, Tumblr, everything that can get people together to relate to someone or something. But I also think that the media or the internet was created for media data. I think a lot of people want to know who's using, what website. Are they linking in? Are they linking out? Did they come from somewhere? Did they initially search this? Did they get the link off a blog? Did they get the link off a website, an article? I think there's a lot of data collection that goes on in the internet as well. So the second question, what is a specific responsibility of those creating and profiting from information cocoons? Fox News Channel is a niche. How do ethical principles apply? I'm not sure that people that are profiting from information cocoons really matter or care too much about their responsibilities. If they're doing something wrong and unethical anyways, it probably is not significant to them. But I also think, as far as Fox, that there's a serious ethical issue. After all the research that I've conducted for this case study, I've found that I do agree that Fox has a strong conservative bias. I don't think that is an ethical, principle you want to have against you. Ethics are set in stone for a reason. They're there so we can follow them and do the right thing by the people, by the public, and that's what we want to do. We want to create a loyalty with our viewers, with our audience, with everyone, and manipulating them into believing conservative beliefs or, either liberal beliefs. Also, manipulating them to believe what you believe is just not right to me. And so I don't think that Fox News is really worried about their ethical issues at all, or else they wouldn't be kind of like pointing fingers back at people accusing them, and they wouldn't be so defensive about the subject. So that is my presentation for Case Study 1 about Fox News. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.